Peace and love, everybody. This is your girl, Sandra Barnes, and I'm coming back at you all once again to drop some more truth and knowledge. I'm going to be discussing the situation happened in Englewood this week, where the young police department within Chicago has set up the bait trucks, with merchandise, and tried to do a sting to set up young black men to be arrested. Well, I think it's absolutely ridiculous. They feel that setting up those armor trucks, for bait to catch these young men stealing, committing these crimes and then ending up arresting them. For the most part, the charges was dropped. Now, why does it have to take the Chicago Police Department to crack down crime just to do that? Setting up bait trucks with unarmed merchandise within it, and then end up catching those that was caught stealing, and then try to charge them. But luckily, they was not charged for the crime in Englewood. It just amazes me how the Chicago Police Department want to set up these sting operations, to address the to address citizens and yet to crack down crime. But their mission had failed. You park these unarmed trucks within the black community, knowing you have merchandise in it, and they just sitting back watching with cameras, waiting for them, to go in and steal and then to arrest them. The Chicago Police Department is unbelievable. They setting up these sting operations for these people to get charged with crimes, and then, and they ain't paying no attention to the gun violence and the other things that's going on out here. The Chicago Police Department is behind a lot of these murders, these drugs and these gangs, what's going on here, and it's just absolutely ridiculous. Now, they knew what they was doing. They're going to park these trucks within the Englewood community, knowing they was sitting back with their cameras, observing everything the young men was doing. So everything was already set up. It's just already a system that's just waiting for us to fail, for as far as with the black people. And these police officers behind a lot of these crimes and behind a lot of these shootings, what's going on out here, and it's just absolutely ridiculous. And most of them is majority of white police officers, so they already had that plan set out. They parked that truck within a community, and they figure, okay, we set this up for to catch another black man stealing, yet to arrest him or either kill him. Just absolutely ridiculous. Now, why would you end up doing that? This is all goes back to racial profiling. They go into the community among blacks, which is Englewood, which is known to be a violent area, and which high crime area as well. And they already had that planned out. You set up an armored truck full of merchandise, and then you sitting back watching these young people and these black men and whatnot go in there steal, and then you want to get caught, and then you want to catch them, and then you want to take them to jail. That's how these guns get here. A lot of these guns coming through these truck barrels, these cars, and trains, and it's all operated by the police. The police is a lot behind what's going on here, and no one seems to be paying attention. Anytime you got to do that just to catch criminals, you ought to just sit yourself down. Because a lot of these police officers is behind these murders that's continuing to go up on the rise within Chicago. And it's just absolutely ridiculous. All the racism that's going on within Chicago, and then also racism going on within Virginia. They getting ready to have a march within Washington, D.C. I was looking at, with these hate crimes and with these hate organizations that promote nothing but hate. Marching with these neo-Nazis and with these white supremacist groups. It's about to get real out here. Nothing is going to get any better. You seeing racial profiling here. You seeing it all over the world. Just absolutely ridiculous. How the amount of hate that we are seeing in the world today, among the black people, as far as with men and women, how children is being murdered and slaughtered like this. And then you got to deal with crooked police officers on the police team, shooting down black young men and women, knowing they racist, knowing they behind the KKK. Setting up operations for the, just to set the black man and the black woman up. And it's just absolutely ridiculous. You are going to be hearing about a big thing that's going on far as within Washington, because those Nazis, neo-Nazis, and those white supremacist groups is getting ready to march down there within Washington, almost headed to the White House. All this come about since Trump been in office. The amount of hate that we are seeing now is continue to be on the rise, with the violence, with the murders, with the suicide, with the mental illness is just absolutely ridiculous. And then you got these crooked police officers on the police team, shooting down people like it's not nothing. Just absolutely ridiculous. Anytime you got the setup of armored trucks, within a black community, you just setting them up for trouble and setting them up for a setup. Why they won't go into the white neighborhoods? I bet you if a black person set up an armored truck within a white community, it'll be an all zone, but it'll be an all out war. But no, they can come into the black community, and set these crimes up and then kill our black men and women, yet want to arrest them. And it's just absolutely ridiculous. So they sting operation yet failed. All those charges was dropped. If they want to commit crime and if they want to get crime organized and situated, they need to go knock out on these doors with these people that's committing these shootings and that know that they are drug dealers and gangbangers. But no, they're not going to do that. They only go target the ones who they want to target, because eventually they already know that a lot of these shootings and a lot of this crime that's going on within the city of Chicago, it's already being set up and it's already being plotted out. A lot of these guns is not coming into the country by accident. A lot of these police officers and a lot of these undercovers is behind a lot of these murders and these drugs and what's going on out here. For them to go into the Englewood area, they already didn't close the schools down over there, and everybody pretty much know that's a high crime area. So it's just unbelievable. Eventually all this crookedness and all these police officers that's working on the police force team is nothing but racist. Just setting up the black man and the black woman to fail, but they not addressing the big problems, and they not going after the big people that's committing these murders. I just wanted to share that with you all, what's going on, as far as with the police in Chicago, because they feel that what they did, they can establish the trust. No, the only way they can establish the trust with them on the community, they need to start doing their job and being responsible and quit shooting people down and quit trying to charge people for crimes they did not commit. And start acting like police officers instead of shooting everybody down. Whatever happened to ask questions first? But now it's just ask questions, then shoot next. Absolutely ridiculous. And then you got this hate crimes and all these organizations getting ready to march within Washington, but it's going to be a big thing going on down there. With Virginia, which is known to be a racist city, with a lot of neo-Nazis and raw racists. This country is heading into a big disaster and an all-out war. And I just hope people wake up and learn their truth.